So one of the things that, because this chapter is so long, okay, because it is a 7-week chapter. So one of the things that I will be doing in this chapter is I will be cycling through all the old stuff too. So every day my goal is to give you a warm-up from something from before. Okay? So in this case, I chose one of the problems that was very similar to one of the homework problems from Monday's class. Okay?
Oh, Liz, I forgot to hand you mine.
Okay? So, this is the warm-up problem for you today. Please do it now. So it's asking for the equation of the line containing the median. Median joins a vertex and the midpoint of the opposite side of the first vertex. So this is going to be my first vertex. So I need to do what first? Sam, we'll start with you.
Plug in one of the other vertices.
Nope. What do I need to do first?
Oh, find the midpoint.
Find the midpoint. You already answered that.
Yeah.
Okay. So first I need to find the midpoint of these two sides because then I'm going to connect the purple vertex with that midpoint. So Jenna K, what is the midpoint between those two vertices? 5, 0. Love it. Okay. So now I need to make the line between this purple point and this midpoint. So I need to do those two things. So, Sophia, if I'm going to make the equation of a line, what do I need to have? I need to find the slope, okay? So let's start by finding the slope between those 2 points. 4 minus 0, subtract the y's, over, subtract the x's. 8 minus 5. 4 minus 0 is 4. 8 minus 5 is 3. Love it. Okay? Deets. Once I found the slope, I have a point, correct? That's on the line. Actually, I have 2 of them, right? So I've got the purple point and I got the midpoint. Okay? So I need to pick one of those to use. Which one do you want to use? 5, 0. Okay? Always easiest to use one that contains a 0. Okay? Love it. What am I going to use those in? Slope, intercept, I would need the slope and I would need the intercept. I don't have the intercept, so I can't use the slope-intercept form. I have a point and I have the slope. What is the other one called?
He just said together. You're the point and you're the slope.
I'm going to use the point-slope form, yes. Okay? So the point-slope form says y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1, where x sub 1 comma y sub 1 is my point, and m is my slope. Okay? So now I can fill some stuff in. You said, Deets, that you wanted to use the 5, 0, right? Okay, love it. So that's going to be y minus 0 equals 4/3, my slope, times x minus 5. Okay? Russell, do I like this form?
Yeah.
No. What do I like instead? Or what would you do to that multicolored thing? Sure. We'll come back to you on that one, okay? Patty, what would you do? Okay, what about the minus 0? Does that do anything? Just take it out, right? Okay.
I was just going to say get the Y by itself.
Okay, because we want to get y by itself, right? But y is really by itself because minus 0 is just y. Yep. Okay. So then this is going to be y equals 4/3 x minus 20/3. Russell, do we like that form? Yes, we do. Yep, because it's nice and neat and pretty, just like us. Okay? All right? So that's how we do that one. Okay?
That's it.
That's it. Again, I wasn't asking you to solve a complex calculus equation. This is all stuff that you've done for 4 years. Yeah. And stuff like this on the final that's going to come up on the 22nd of May. This would be an easy final question. Except they probably wouldn't say, they wouldn't give you the definition of median. Because we didn't ask for the perpendicular bisector of it. On Monday, I asked you for the perpendicular bisector. This one, it just asked for the median. Okay? All right. Jacob, do you know what the first step is to graphing a parabola? Were you here yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, then it's in your notes. Promise.
Identify the direction.
Direction only. So what are the two things that we look for when we're trying to figure out which way our parabola is going to open?
The coefficient and what variable is squared.
Okay, so first we look at which variable is squared. X squared means it's going to open
Up or down.
up or down. Y squared means it's going to open.
Left or right.
Fantastic. Henry, coefficient, the non-squared coefficient. What do we look at for that one?
If it's negative or positive.
Okay, so and if it's positive, we go in the positive direction, right? Which would be up or to the right.
Correct.
And if it's negative, we go down or to the left. Love it. Okay? Love everything about that. So, first step is you're going to identify which way you're opening. Okay? The direction of the opening for that. Okay? Love it. Colin, step number 2.
Get the vertex.
How am I going to find the vertex?
So opposite what's in parentheses.
So if it's inside parentheses, I think oppositely. And if it's outside parentheses, I make sure I put it inside parentheses first, right? Okay? All right? So we find the vertex, and we're going to think oppositely about that. Okay? But we're also going to think x with x, or x goes to the x, or whatever is after the x goes to the x part of our point. Whatever's after the y goes to the y part of our point. Okay? Love it. Bear, you weren't here yesterday. Okay? You get a free pass. Luke, step number 3.
Identify the p value.
Okay, so I'm going to first find out what P is, and where do I go to look to figure out what P is?
It's the number that's not squared on the other side. But
The coefficient of the non-squared variable. Okay, I like coefficient of the non-squared variable first. Okay, but that's equal to what? That's 4P. So I have to divide by 4 to get that. Okay? Brett, what is P then?
it gives you your focus.
Like, what do you mean it gives me my focus?
It's a point in your focus.
But what's P? The D word.
The directrix.
Not the directrix, that's the other D word. P is distance. Yep, so P tells me the distance from what?
From the directrix to the midpoint.
What do we call that midpoint?
Width.
The V word.
Vertex.
Vertex, yep, okay. So P is the distance from the directrix to the vertex, and from the vertex to the directrix. So vertex to focus and vertex to directrix is what P is. Okay? So the focus is a point, the directrix is a line. Okay? So focus is a point, directrix is a line. Vertex is a point too. Okay? Well, we already got that. Okay? Now what, Caden? What's step 4?
Identify the width of your parabola.
And how am I going to figure out what the width of my parabola is?
You take your lead coefficient on the non-squared side
Okay.
and cut it in half and go each way.
Yep. So you go each way, whichever way you're going in that one. So that non-squared variable's coefficient, that 4p value, that is the width of the parabola through the focus. So we cut that value in half. So if 4p was 20, we cut that in half. Okay, and so we go 10 in each direction, whether it be left and right or up and down, depending upon which way our parabola opens. Okay, and that again is through the focus, not through the vertex, through the focus. Okay. Kurt, last one, last step.
Find the axis of symmetry.
Find the axis of symmetry. And the axis of symmetry is going to be the line that goes through the vertex and the focus, perpendicular to the directrix, and cuts the parabola in half. Okay, it's that halfway line. Okay, love it. Okay? So you should all have, I think you should all have 2 graphs left over from yesterday. And so we're going to graph 3 today, so when we get to the second one, then I'll come around and I'll give you another sheet of graph paper. But so let's start graphing some parabolas. Okay, so this is the first one that we are going to graph. Y squared equals 20x. Okay? Samantha, we are to you. Okay? The first question that we have to ask is step number 1. Which way does this parabola open? Why do you say to the right?
Because the y is squared, so it'd be added up to the right.
Yep.
And the p value is positive.
Is positive, so that means it goes to the positive side, which is the right. Love it. Love everything that you said about that in that description. To the right. Love it. Okay? Hannah, where is the vertex? It is at 0, 0, because there's nothing attached behind the y, nothing behind the x. Okay? There's stuff in front, but vertexes I look behind. So that's 0, 0. So we put a dot right at the origin. Since it's opening right, I can put my V on that side. Love it. Okay? And Juliana, what do we do next?
We find the focus.
Okay, so how am I going to find the focus?
We do 4p equals 20.
Love it.
And then divide each side by 4. We get 5.
Okay, love it. So the focus is in which direction? It's going to the right. So I go 5 to the right from my vertex, right? Love it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my focus is at what point?
5, 0.
Love it. Okay. What else do we do in this step, Brent? We're on step number 3. We just found the focus. We found that distance already. That's P, that's 5. So then we use P to find the focus. So now we got to use P to find the directrix. Which way is the directrix going to be from my vertex? It's going to be to the right. That's where my focus is. So the directrix goes through my focus. Give me another chance. left. It's going to be left because it's the opposite direction. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gets me there. So then that puts and that's a line, so I got to draw in a nice pretty vertical line. So what is the equation of that blue vertical line? Not sure? Okay. Equation of my blue line. X equals -5. Vertical lines are x equals. Horizontal lines are y equals. Love it. Okay? Faith, I'll leave this one up to you if you want to decide what the width is. It's okay if you want to skip since you were gone yesterday. No? Okay, fantastic. Mad Dog? What is the width? No. But what's the width?
Whole side.
20. Yep. So the whole width is 20. Okay? What you're doing and what everybody likes to do is they like to say, well, it's 10. The width is 10. No, the width is not 10. The width is 20 because that's what 4p is. Okay? I go 10 in each direction. So in this case, since my parabola is opening to the right, I'm going to go 10 up and 10 down. Okay? Now, that allows me to then draw in my parabola. Bless you. Okay. And then we have one last question. What's the axis of symmetry? Y equals 0. Love it, because it's a horizontal line through the focus and through the vertex. And there it is. Questions on that one? Okay. So you should have one graph left to graph this one, and then while you're doing this one, I'll walk around and I'll pass out the graph paper for our next graph too. Okay? So graph this one. Samantha, we're back to you. Opens.
It opens up.
It opens up. Do we agree with opening up? Why do you think it opens up?
Because the x is squared and the leading coefficient is a positive.
Is positive. Yep. So I would agree that this opens up. Vertex JK.
-2, -3.
-2, -3. Again, thinking oppositely in both cases. Love it. There's my vertex. Sophia, next step. So how do I find the focus? What's P? 4, because 4P is equal to 16, right? So that means P is equal to 4. Okay? So since it opens up, my focus is going to be 4 up. So where is my focus? -2, -1. Okay. Dietz, directrix? -8. I don't like -8. I like the y equals part, but I don't like -8. Because if I go down 4, right? I go down 4, right? So this is already at -3, -4, -5, -6. I like -7 instead. Okay? Okay. Russell, what's the width
What?
through the focus?
What should be 4?
Nope.
16.
16. Okay, so that means I'm going to go how much in each direction?
4 to the right.
If I go 4 to the right, then I got to go 12 to the left, right? Okay. Would that be, is that symmetric? No, they got to be equal, right? So what would equal them out? 8. Go 8 to the left and 8 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's going to allow me to draw it in. Patty, one last thing is what? -2 is a number. X equals -2 is a line, which is an axis of symmetry. Okay. Questions on that one? Good job. Okay. Next one. Yes. Just when you think you have all the answers, I go and I change all the questions. Opening and why?
It opens left because y is squared and the coefficient is -6.
Love it. Okay, so this one opens to the left because the y is squared and this number right there is negative. Okay? Vertex.
The vertex is 2, -1.
2, -1. Love it. Okay. P-value.
Oh, it's just 1.5.
Okay. So where's my focus?
So it's 1.5 to the left.
Okay. So where's my focus? I don't know. Clearly you didn't do it when I
No,
asked
I
you to.
No, because I didn't do it right. I did -1.
Oh, gotcha. Screwed those up.
Yep. So it's just got a half comma, -1.
Bear, directrix.
I don't know if it's right, but x equals 7 halves.
X equals 7/2. I like that one. Because it's 1.5 the other way. So that's going to put me right there, which is 2 plus 1.5, which is 3/2, which is 7.5. Or 7/2, I should say. Yep, like it. Width, Luke. 6. The width is 6, which means that I go how much in each direction? 3. So in this case, I'm going to go up 3 from the focus and down 3 from the focus. That's going to allow me to draw it in. Okay. Brett, last one, axis of symmetry.
Y equals -1.
Love it. Good job. And that's all she wrote. Okay? Homework tonight is on the back side of the 9.2 worksheet. You have 3 graphs that you can be doing. So those 3 graphs are due for tomorrow. Same thing as today. I will just check those 3 graphs tomorrow when the beginning of class. Done, not done kind of a deal. And then we'll work on that bottom half of the backside tomorrow. Okay, coming up with the equations given certain scenarios tomorrow. Okay?